Alright, hello and welcome back to Mega Man 2. Let's head into our second round of Robot Masters here, and we will start with Airman. Talk more when we get to him, but Airman is also one who I have the ability to die to when I probably shouldn't. I probably go too cautiously in this level just because I have an irrational fear of dying from jumping on these little spikes that come up on the side of these things. Just the idea of that annoys me. There is enough room on the edge that you can jump on the side of it. Ooh, that's nice. But I don't know. I just take it slow, because why not? At least slow enough that I won't fall and die. I don't really care about getting hit too much. Now, this is a section where we will again make use of our metal blade. That one is fine, but after this, I really find like there's not quite enough room to really effectively get through this unless that guy's already dead. And I usually wait until I can see this down here. There we go. Yeah, I just like killing them before I get level with them, just so that there's more time to jump. There's really no reason to wait so long there. Let's go back to our Buster. And now we have a section where we start losing some visibility, which is fine. Not a bad mechanic, really. Adds a little fun. We'll just kind of run to either edge and drop down here. Nothing too special. Alright, and now, this is where I really go unnecessarily slow, to be safe. But sometimes when you get hit, you can just go right through and it won't matter. I'm not really sure what I'm doing here. Let's let this cycle go, and then move on. Alright, we do have some interesting enemies here, these little fan belly guys, which, if you're not paying attention, can cause some issues, I suppose, but ultimately don't present much of a problem. That jump there can be pretty dangerous. This can be annoying if you get caught in a section where he blows you just barely off screen. Ooh, another free extra life. Wonderful. Got like 7 lives now. Not something that happens too often to me. Alright, that's better. So, yeah. Airman really isn't all that difficult, but I don't know. I just do a really bad job of dodging his attack. And if you don't get through to him quickly enough, then you won't be able to hit him with the leaf shield, which 2 leaf shields will kill him. So he's very easy to take out if you can land the shot. But you'll see why it's difficult here, coming up. He kind of makes a little wall of cyclones. You have to try and jump through, and I'm just really bad at it. Just no talent for it. But that'll do it. Yeah, once you can get in and sneak up close to him, he drops like a fly. Two leaf shields and he's done. So you only need just a little bit of health, or, you know, you get plenty of energy tanks if you have to refill, whatever. It'll feel like a waste, but it's alright. We will now get equipped with the Air Shooter, which is a nice little attack that we will utilize, but we also get a message from Dr. Light telling us that item number 2 is complete, or completed, whatever. And again, they'll show us turning red, which is largely pointless and doesn't show anything to do with what the weapon itself actually does, but that's alright. We will survive, I think. Alright. So, the next stage that we will jump into is Crashman. Now, Crashman stage I like a lot, because when I first played this level, I really hated it. I thought it was very bland and boring, and it's not till you get like halfway through that you actually start to get a little bit of an appreciation for what the level actually is. This is a section where you can just kind of wait for forever for a window to open up, or we can go to our handy metal blade and create an opening that way. Hey, that was rude. Alright. Now we'll do the same thing here. Just kind of take those guys out and jump up here. Definitely one of the biggest things to making this game, and frankly most of the games easier, is not being afraid to use the boss weapons in level. It just makes so many doors open up. Sorry about that. Alright, so in this section, we don't really need to do this yet, but if we take out our leaf shield and just don't touch anything, ooh, never mind, we're gonna touch something. There we go. You will stay on this platform and be completely protected. Because this will just float around, kill everything that comes near us, and the leaf shield won't go anywhere until you press a directional button. Now, you don't really need it for that area. You really don't even need it too much for this one. But the next space is just not really worth trying to do without it. Just too much going on. You stay on this platform for too long. It's just so much easier just to do this, and then sit back, relax. Let it do its job. Part of me that wants to jump down there and get that, but I think we'll be just fine without it. Yeah, trying to get through this little section here with just your buster is not pleasant. Alright. Moving on. Let's go back to that for now. There we go. So around now is when I started to get very annoyed at this level, and I was like, this is so boring. What is special about this? What makes this Crash Man's level? But now, as we continue to climb, you will soon see. I always get by this guy. It's very annoying. Makes me sad. I don't think I'm going to get there in time to refill my leaf. Nope. Alright. So... now we go. There's a few ways to manage this. Let's do... we'll just do this. It's not really necessary, but we'll go up the left side first. Now, I'm going to use the shield to get by some of these guys here. I actually forget which one of these I want to go up. We're going to do this one. See what happens. I honestly don't usually bother going up here. Oops, that was a mistake. Forgot to stop climbing. Oops. Let's do this. Metal blade, honestly, works a lot better from here. I like to use the leaf shield because it's a little more fun, I think, but alright. Unfortunately, I can't quite jump up there, and the items I have won't do the job, so we'll hop back down. That went poorly. It's alright, though. Okay. Alright, let's try this again. Now, if you kill the bird high enough, you should get some drops to actually fall on you, but if you kill them too low, unfortunately, they haven't, like, registered yet. I don't know how you want to phrase it, so they won't really give you anything. I'm gonna have to use an energy tank. What is happening here? Really have not been paying much attention, I guess. This is problematic. Alright, let's get out of here. Over here. There we go. Easier. There we go. Don't really need this for much of anything, so we might as well use it, lest we lose it. Now, you can go over there, you don't need to, it really isn't going to be that much of a benefit. These guys are oddly annoying to deal with, but become much easier with the metal blade. Oh yeah, I forgot. If you press up and down at the same time with the metal blade, it'll just kind of make this stationary blade that stays in place. Unfortunately, though, I can't change my weapon while that's on screen, and I need to if you want to get that extra life, which I do. So we're going to just leave the screen, I guess. I didn't really mean to do that on purpose, but it is an interesting thing. I'm glad we got to show it off. Anyway, let's actually do this here. So, we're gonna, oop, that was way too high. There we go. Ow. Alright. And then I won't be able to get rid of this until, oops, that thing's off screen. That. Need both of those. That was helpful. Alright, let's continue on here. We wasted enough time, I think. So, I could just sit here and refill my health, but that seems boring, and I don't want to do it. Alright, let's carry on. Let's get out our air shooter. And the ideal scenario is that you will hit Crashman with all 3 webs of the air shooter here. And then it just absolutely tears his health up like nobody's business. I don't know if you could really tell, but he was shooting some bombs out at us, which, you know, as it initially fires, it hurts, but then once it explodes, it can do some damage. But he didn't really get to show it off too much, so don't worry, we will later. So yes, letter C, representing the Crash Bomber, which is sort of an, I don't know, orangey salmon sort of color. Anyway, let's move on. We will use Crashman's Crash Bomber to take on Bubble Man. Bubble Man, who of course has an underwater stage, everyone's favorite. Check, are we full on energy tanks and lives? I actually don't know if there's a limit on how many lives you can get, but it's probably 9. Now, for the most part, particularly for a water stage, Bubble Man's stage is not too bad. There's kind of one particular area that can cause some trouble, at least for me, but you know, I have ways to deal with it. These will, of course, fall as you step on them. I guess I showed that off too much. What an interesting place for our first death. That's alright, we'll let it go. We got plenty of lives, we're doing okay. Now we'll just let this little frog guy get out of our way. I don't think I've ever died there. Such is life. But yes, these will, as I said, fall if you stand on them more than, you know, half a second. Come down and have some weird little snail guys here. And then the same snail guys, but this time in water. And of course, as any good underwater stage must, Bubble Man has plenty of spikes here, but honestly, they don't really cause much of an issue. There's only 1 or 2 spots where they're, you know, represent much of a, just go away, where they represent much of a legitimate threat. There's no reason really to kill these little plankton guys, just kill the big one, and then you can deal with them after. Yeah, there's only like 1 or 2 spots where they, you know, generate a little bit of a challenge, and even that's really not too bad. Now, having said that, I'm probably going to die a billion times at it, but like right there, never done that before. That was absurd, which is fine. You can show off the fact that the giant plankton guys stay dead permanently. I don't really know why. They're not really that difficult. Doesn't seem like the kind of enemy that needs to be prevented from respawning, but they do. So you only have to kill them once, which I guess is nice. And then yeah, you just have to be gentle with your jumps here. Doesn't really cause too much of a problem. This is probably the one spot where I would quasi-worry. Still not too bad. There's plenty of room there, but That would be a spot I would be not shocked at dying at. The 2 spots I actually died at, did not anticipate. I think that's okay though. And right here, I suppose that would be a spot where it's easy to get a little overzealous. Alright, let's continue on. I don't really care about that much. Now, this is one of the other spots that is oddly annoying, and I like to use Flashman's weapon to get through here, because they have these crabs that fall down, and it's just really easy to jump into them as you're going across a gap, and you get, frankly, kind of pretty cheap deaths from it, and I don't like it. So, let's get in here. Now, I think the smarter way to try and deal with Bubble Man with the Crash Bomber is to try and have Bubble Man accidentally walk into the explosions, and I'm just not very good at that, so I don't try. But it takes exactly 7 hits of the Crash Bomber to kill him, and you get exactly 7 shots. Now, it's not particularly difficult to deal with otherwise, so it doesn't matter too much. Let's see if this works. Hey! Alright. That was fun. Yeah, if you do it that way, you get some extra damage against him. But really, I'm being a little kind of overly cautious and wasting my time. So we'll just take him out there. Yeah, if you don't hit him with an explosion, you would have exactly 7 shots to kill him, but either way, it's not particularly difficult. He moves really slowly. His attacks aren't very difficult to dodge if you're bothering to try, which I really didn't at all. He has kind of a Mega Buster type shot, and that's fairly difficult to dodge because it just kind of comes quickly and is really small and kind of hides behind his bubble leads or bubble leads. I think it's bubble lead. I've heard bubble lead, but ultimately not very hard. We do get, however, the bubble lead. No, bubble lead. I like bubble lead a lot better. And with that, we will take it and go fight our final Robot Master, Heat Man. Alright. Heat Man also has some insta-death areas here with the lava. I wouldn't say it's exceptionally difficult, but it's just one of those things where, you know, tiny slip up and you can die, so it's always annoying. But similarly, if you do get hit and fall in, you'll have a few invincibility frames, recoil frames, whatever, to attempt to get out of the fire in time, which is helpful. Let's see. I actually forget what kills these things. Pretty sure this does. There we go. Yeah, jump. Oh, that was rude. Jumping will not move your shield. Only moving the directional key will. So you can jump before firing it off. And honestly, I'm not going to bother doing this because I don't feel like it. Instead, we're going to cheat. Use that to get out. Creative problem solving. Let's use this so that these guys will be a little easier to deal with. Less annoying angles. Ooh. There we go. Alrighty. Now we will employ Crash Bomber to open up some of these pathways, make things a little easier to get through. We still have to use the steps to a degree, but not all that much. And you got to be cautious of them, not to accidentally fall off the edge or anything like that. And we can just jump right past that guy. And now we are again going to do some creative problem solving. And instead of jumping across this huge line of these blocks, we're going to use this little jet. There's an extra life here that I recommend not trying to get because you kind of end up getting trapped if you do that. It's just not worth it, in my opinion, because you will probably just die. So, let's see. Cannot use this. I don't want to use the bomber. Let's try this. What does it do? Oh, that didn't work. No, that's fine. We'll just keep running. I forget what I usually use to get past him, but I guess it doesn't matter. Anyway, let's get our bubble back out. And Heat Man is generally pretty easy, certainly a lot easier than, was it Flame Man or Fire Man in 1. But he does have this attack where he turns himself into flame and kind of shoots across the screen. That does a lot of damage if you do get hit by it. So that's the one thing to legitimately watch out for. The rest of, this little fire attack doesn't do all that much damage. Yeah, that's the one that really can take you out quickly. But ultimately, just like most of the other Robot Masters, he gets eaten alive by the corresponding weapon, and ultimately doesn't prove to be that much of a threat. So from Heat Man, we get H, aka Atomic Fire, which is going to be a very useful weapon for us moving forward, as we will see in the next video or so. But first, we must get this message from Dr. Light, telling us that item number 1 is completed. Get your weapons ready. Yes, item 1, which we will not be using until Wily's Castle, but nice for us to have it. And one more time, let's turn red. Alright, so we'll go to the stage select screen. Dr. Wily shows himself. Looks really cocky for a guy whose, special Robot Masters were all just destroyed so easily, but it's alright. Alright, there we have stage 1 of Wily's Castle. We're going to end things here, and when we come back, we will dive in and see what he's got in store for us. But, till then, see ya!